Welcome back to the Fantasy Hockey Podcast. The sweep jacket is back. I'm sorry I wasn't able to update as much during the week. A lot was going on. We were prepping a lot of stuff for the live stream and had a few other things going on, so I wasn't able to update. But I can at least tell you I got the sweep jacket. So this week will be a lot more active. We'll be telling you what's going on. The schedule is insane. So today what I want to do is not go... I want to go over a little bit how last week went. But for the most part, I want to talk about strategy and how I'm going to prep for this week. Because in one league, in my keeper league, it's actually 1 versus 2. So it's a really big matchup. So I think I can use this opportunity to try to talk through exactly how I plan out the week. And use it a little bit more as a strategy episode. So maybe a little bit more nuanced, but maybe help you learn how to kind of set lineups, when to make those drops, that sort of thing. And we'll also go through some of the other leagues as well. But I'll say for later in the week, kind of more detailed, how is my team, how am I feeling? And then at the end of the week, I'm going to do a special episode that kind of goes over all the leagues and gives you an idea of who I'm scared of, who are the best teams in the league, who am I competing against, what am I deficient in, and how might I fix that through trades or something like that later down the line. And maybe when do I start thinking about playoffs? We'll talk about all of that stuff. So let's start first, though, by going over ECFHL, briefly looking at how last week went, and start to prep for this week versus the second place team. Okay, so if you didn't catch it, I'm now in first place, which is awesome. So I'm very excited to be in first place, regained the throne. I haven't been first place in this league, I don't think, ever. Last year, my team was more of a rebuilder. This year, I'm doing pretty well. So I'm going against the second place team, as good as it gets. I'm up by 4 points at the moment. So I'd like to keep that lead there. I think if I can keep that lead, I'll feel really good. And the top 3 have a pretty sizable lead on the fourth place teams. So I feel good about at least staying in this top 3. So I want to keep this matchup close, or, of course, obviously go for the win. So let's take a look at how last week went first. So I played I Am No Domi. My team did really, really well. I won 8-1. Shots on goal were super close. We traded one category win. I lost hits by 1. And then I won shots on goal by 1. So it was really close. I tried to chase down hits with Ryan Reeves. I got really close at the end. Reeves got me 7 hits. The big difference maker was that Hannafin actually hit for the first time in his life. He got 3 hits. He doesn't always hit. But this game he decided to against Vegas. Everyone was hitting because they were down by so much. So Hannafin was the big difference maker there for him to win that hits category. But I won 8-1, almost got the full sweep. The funny thing was in this league, I was last in the league. I was second to last in the league in saves and second to last in the league in save percentage. The only person worse was I Am No Domi. So I got super, super lucky when it came to goaltending this week that it actually worked out for me, because by all intents and purposes, it should not have worked out for me. My MVP of the week is easily Connor McDavid. This week was insane. I mean, look at this. I got a 6-point game and then a 3-point game, and he's shooting a ton. It's nuts. And I mean, everyone went off, honestly. Patrick Kane also had a 6-point week, which I would take any day, any single week. Dougie Hamilton had 4 points. So my team is on fire, and I'm happy with what they're doing. And Hellebuck and Vasilevsky are getting me wins. I would like to see Vasilevsky start to get better save percentages. But you know, we'll see how he progresses. I'm not too worried about Vasilevsky going forward. And if we take a look now at the team stats and how I'm looking in total, I am down there in goals. I am up there in assists. I'm third in assists. So right now, the way it looks like against as good as it gets, it looks like right now I'll be challenging for goals. They'll be challenging for assists. So that'll be close there. And then in power play points, I'm first in the league. As good as it gets is down here. Not too far off. It's closer than it looks. I have 82. They have 76. It's not that far off. Shots on goal, I'll be chasing a little bit. Hits, I'll also probably be chasing. So this is going to be a close matchup. And they're quite a bit above me in blocks. Although I've been doing better in blocks recently than this indicates. It was just the first week I was really, really bad in blocks. So if we take a look at it, right now we are tied in games played 51-51. So this is big. We're tied 51-51. They do have more goaltender starts if Grubauer comes back. Right now, though, they only have Markstrom and Blackwood, which makes me feel pretty good. I mean, I know that Blackwood has been decent recently, but he has a really, really hard schedule in at home versus Boston and at Pittsburgh, and then he gets the easy game against Detroit. If they play Detroit, he'll either get the Pittsburgh matchup or the Detroit matchup. They may need to make a goalie ad too. depending on what happens with the Markstrom Demko split. This is actually the team I traded Markstrom to, so this is going to be fun because this is where I got Besser not Besser, Horvat from. So let's take a look at my team now and start to plan out for the week. So the first thing to always do when you're planning out for the week like this, I'll always set your roster, start your active players, and then go through and look at who you would or would not be playing. That's the most important thing here. So I'm going to take a look at and try to set your lineups the best you can, because then you get an idea of, okay, this person is probably droppable. Now, hits, I don't think I'm going to be able to really chase. And so then that kind of gets into a situation of, okay, what do I do? But if I can, I could play Ryan Reeves over, for example, Voracek, who's been stone cold and not really getting any peripherals. So I could keep Ryan Reeves for tomorrow. And then that would actually open me up to be able to drop someone like Wayne Simmons, because Wayne Simmons would be kind of my area for hits. But if I can get Ryan Reeves, who one of the reasons I also want to keep him is I think this San Jose game is going to be pretty insane. But this league doesn't have PIMs, so I may not really need Ryan Reeves, to be honest. I may not need him for that San Jose game because I would assume he's going to get PIMs, and so there actually might not be a lot of hits involved simply because he's going to be in the box quite a bit. So Ryan Reeves is an option. I think that allows me to drop a guy like Wayne Simmons. Ehlers could go in over. I think Ehlers will go in over Schwartz, although I don't like Ehlers against Nashville or Schwartz against Tampa. But I like Ehlers against Nashville more than I like Schwartz against Tampa. So we'll bench there. So just a mental note that Simmons is benched and Schwartz is benched. I'm not going to be dropping Voracek, so that doesn't matter too much. What else is out here? Let's see. Okay, so let's go to Wednesday now. And a good reminder that Strome and Brady Tkachuk is playing, so not too droppable there. If we look at Thursday, no benching Thursday, which is really, really interesting. But again, Wayne Simmons is here. So right now, my top drop candidate is definitely going to be Simmons, and I get to play Ryan Reeves. So I'll definitely keep Reeves here because I don't need to bench him. So now let's take a look at Friday. Simmons gets me a Friday game, but I can probably maximize on that. Okay, here I'm benching. So Timo Meier will come in for Simmons. Ehlers against Columbus. By now, I could probably drop Ryan Reeves on Saturday and pick up. I could probably drop Ryan Reeves on Saturday. What I'll do is I'll just pay attention to what's happening with hits. If I'm close in hits, I'll keep Reeves. If I'm far away in hits, I'll just drop him. But Ehlers at the moment, I'd say over Schwartz. I'm not really playing Schwartz that much this week, which is one thing that if I ultimately do need starts, I can probably drop Schwartz in this league. Although I don't really want to, just because I like him long term. But he is a potential drop candidate. Like, for example, if Zibanejad comes back, I could drop Schwartz to activate Zibanejad and then have two Rangers, and then eventually drop Strome once he cools off. Obviously, Connor McDavid is going to play. He's going to be benched for Ryan Strome, of course. Although Pierre-Luc Dubois, I may play Strome for Dubois, but Montreal's been really, really good, and I don't really want to play one against them. And then, of course, Sunday, I have Connor McDavid, Dougie Hamilton, Jacob Chikrin. Okay, so I don't have any start. Wayne Simmons, for me, is the most droppable. So let's take a look at the off nights tool now that we have and see who has the best schedules of the week. Now, it's a weird week in which, sure, you're looking at the best schedule, but really what you want to do is maximize starts here. So what you want to do is, for example, pick up a Ranger player or a Washington player or an Ottawa player, and then swapping that player out for someone that plays Sunday. That's what you really want to do, and then you maximize your starts. So right now, the Devils, for example, I only get one game from Simmons here, but if I can pick up a Ranger, I actually get 2 extra starts because I'll get one on Wednesday and one on Sunday. It's a next day ad, so really what I should have done is yesterday add someone from these teams here and gotten a Monday start, but that's okay. Mistakes were made. That is fine. So let's take a look at a few of these teams. So the teams we're going to look at picking up from for Simmons are going to be from Ottawa and from the Rangers. Those are the 2 teams we've got to look at here in terms of who to pick up for. And I actually kind of like Ottawa's schedule. You could also do a 1 Washington ad, 1 Ranger ad, or 1 Ottawa ad, because then you get the Rangers, or a Ranger ad to get this matchup here. And then you could pick up, or for example, Pittsburgh versus the Devils. So let's take a look at a few of these. Let's first look at Ottawa, and let's look at Ottawa, Washington and the Rangers and see what's there. And Montreal's actually a decent option because they get that Ottawa game. So let's take a look at that. So first, let's start with Ottawa and see who's out there. You can already see that Duclair is available, which is pretty awesome. So Duclair is available. Just doesn't get me many peripherals. That's the thing that's the thing I'm not huge on here, is that he has 2 shots on goal really consistently, but that's not enough for me. So Duke is an option. Don't really care about Tyler Ennis. Nick Paul is a good option for peripherals. So let's mark him. Logan Brown is an option. How's he been recently? So he's a risk. He's a big gamble, but like we did have Logan Brown as a candidate for this week, so I am gonna put him on watch there, and he's 1%. The thing is, he's a center. It doesn't really matter for center because I'm getting him for off nights. Okay, so that's Ottawa. Let's take a look at Washington now. Let's see who's out there still in this league. Orlov, man, everyone is owned. Let's just look at like last 14 days. See if anybody that's been hot. Nope. Orlov, don't care. Siegenthaler, don't care. Panic, nah. So Washington doesn't really have anybody. So now let's take a look at the Rangers. Let's see if anyone is there. Still looking at last 14 days. So Brendan Lemieux is interesting because he gets so many hits. So again, this is only if I want to chase down hits specifically. Capo Caco is an option for sure. Shooting a little bit more, but really he's a goal ad, which I kind of like actually, simply because I am kind of down in goals. So Caco is kind of interesting. He didn't play. He still has the flu. I'm assuming he'll play, but I'd want him for the Ottawa game, not the Washington game. And then Buchnevich is still out there for assists. I don't really need assists, though. I need goals and shots, which makes Caco really, really interesting. And then I said, who else? Let's see. Let's take a look also at... Let's look at just this matchup. Let's look at Montreal, who plays against Ottawa here. Yeah, so let's take a look at Montreal. So if there's a good Montreal option, I could do Montreal and then a Ranger option for... What is it? Friday? Yeah, for Friday. Ben Chariot. I call him Chariot. Philip Deneau. I could do Philip Deneau. Deneau's been red hot. He gets some hits. I care about Cale Fleury, Arturi Lehkonen. I like his shots normally, but his minutes have gone down a lot. You have Nick Suzuki. He's getting goals right now. Kakanyemi's back, huh? Interesting. Got to keep an eye on Kakanyemi now that he's back. Although he only played 9 minutes, but that could have been just because he's missed some games here. Okay, so keep an eye on Kakanyemi. So I think here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go... Oh, let's take a look at Pittsburgh for Thursday, too. Just to prep. I just want to see what's out there. I just like having it in the back of my mind. So Brian Rust is still out there. So Brian Rust is a really good option. He's a really, really good option for Thursday. Or Friday, rather. Okay, so he's my number 1 for Friday. So let's first pick up... okay, so I like the idea of going... Okay, so I like the idea of going Deneau versus Columbus and Ottawa, or versus Ottawa. I won't get him for that Columbus game. Yeah, because tomorrow I can't play anybody anyway, so that's okay. I just pick him up for this Columbus game, but I'll get the Ottawa game, and then can drop and pick up Caco or Brian Rust. Those will be my next 2. So we'll put this in. I'll do the actual bid off screen. So let's pick up Wayne. Let's drop Wayne Simmons here. Okay, good. I could drop Jaden Schwartz and already pick up a Rust or Caco. Well, if I picked up Caco, I guess I'd get some starts from Jaden Schwartz. I'd have to... So I'm already benching Jaden Schwartz. I could just drop Schwartz and pick up Caco. I could do that. Because Schwartz doesn't get me anything this week. And if we look at future weeks... Let's look at next week just really quick. I want to see where St. Louis is at. St. Louis is also all on heavy days that week. Yeah, you know what? Let's just drop Schwartz too. So let's go back to Brian Rust only has one off night. So what we'll do is we'll try to get Rust. Let's get Kako for the 2. I could also go Duclair. Okay, so let's do Kako and Duclair. So Kako will be my first option. Duclair will be my second. So we'll drop that. And then let's also do Duclair. And then the idea would be that you get I do like Duclair against Detroit. Okay, so let's just do this. We'll drop Jaden Schwartz here. I'm keeping Chikrin for the week just because his peripherals are pretty insane, and he gets me 2 off nights. So we'll keep Chikrin. Yeah, his blocks have been really good recently. If that slows down though, Chikrin's another drop candidate. Okay, so now we have those in. I think Kako is a better option, unless I'll keep an eye on if he's healthy or not. And then of course we want Brian Rust for this game on Friday, but I can drop Deneau for that. So once Deneau is done, we'll pick him up. We'll pick him up on Thursday and have him for Friday. So that would get me 2 extra starts out of Kako, 2 extra starts out of Duclair, whichever one I get. Yeah, so I'd get 2 extra starts from either one of these 2, and then I'd get 1 extra start from Deneau. So that's already immediately 3 extra starts. And then if I could get Brian Rust and a Sunday player, then in that way I get pretty much 4 starts added, 3 or 4 starts added to this, which will be really good. And good starts too. I like all those starts. So there you go. So that is ECFHL. We are properly prepped for that. Let me know in the comments if you actually enjoy me doing this or not. I don't know if it helps. I know some people have told me yes. I haven't gotten any no's. So I don't know. Maybe it's fun. Maybe you have it in the background or whatever. So yeah, maybe it helps. So let's go on now to return to the backups, where it's actually a really close matchup this week. So right now the projection in return of the backups is 101.48 to 98.07, which is terrifying because of Bobrovsky and Price and Markstrom. Price isn't as scary recently. He's been on fire. It's more Markstrom and Bobrovsky that are giving me pause and haven't been really doing that well. Bobrovsky did really well against the Rangers, had a really big game. I know he had 3 goals against, but still got 30 saves, good for 5 points. Bergeron is day-to-day for them, which is huge. Braden Point, Ovechkin, I'm facing a really good team. This team, I think, is just unlucky in regards to being 2-4. So right now I have 39 games to their 37. So, you know, it's going to be really close. And then if we take a look at last week really quick, not much to talk about last week. Dominated 104.6 to 81.6. Just a great matchup for me. 43. I had so many more games started, which was the big difference maker. And one thing to quickly update is I did get John Klingberg. So we did get John Klingberg off waivers, which was huge. So now John Klingberg is just sitting on IR waiting to get healthy. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I've now gotten Jacob Trouba and John Klingberg off waivers, and they're effectively now my 4th and 5th defenseman, which is insane. So I'm very, very happy about my decor and would argue that from just a potential perspective, they are the best in the league. So now let's take a look at this week and what I'm eyeing. Oh, okay, so they set lineups, it looks like, and now they're projected for 112, so I'm screwed. Not really, I just need to outperform quite a bit. So if we take a look now at what's going to happen here this week and who I'm benching. So Jaden Schwartz, again, is getting benched here for Kyle Connor and Timo Meier, mostly because of that Tampa game. Atkinson, I might play him over Olofsson, but Olofsson's playing Minnesota. So I want to give Olofsson the chance against Minnesota, but Atkinson's been hot. Montreal's just really tough to play against, but I may do that swap. And I have Dubois going, so normally it's like, okay, I'm getting Dubois and Atkinson there. So for now, let's just do this. Let's do Olofsson out for Atkinson. So my 2 benches here are Schwartz and Olofsson, and I have a D spot on Tuesday, which is very important to remember. Then here we've got Chabot and Trouba. Cool. Thursday, we're benching Schwartz for Connor and Meier. Anze Kopitar should play, I think, against Edmonton. I mean, he's been just red hot. And let's play him for Dubois there, which means that Olofsson is getting benched because I don't want to have both Dubois and Atkinson on the bench. I would rather have one of Atkinson or Dubois on the bench on Thursday. And they play Detroit. Oh, that is tough. Barkov plays Anaheim. Let's stick with this for now. That's not too important. I have defensive spots on Thursday, so I've got a lot of defensive slots, which is really cool. And then we've got Chabot and Trouba there. And then on Saturday, I, of course, have to bench. And again, it's Jaden Schwartz. And then I need to make a decision. I really need to figure out my center situation here. And Olofsson is here. And Olofsson gets me a game on Sunday. But that may not be enough reason to keep him here. So let's take a look at who's on the wire. Because for one, let's take a look at who's the best defenseman out there. I don't think there's many. Yeah, Goligoski is the best. He does get me off nights. I don't really need off nights with defensemen, though. Ronick. I could pick up Pionk, honestly. Not many points, though, and I don't really like his matchups. Let's look at just the last 14 days. So Chariot's been doing well. Adam Fox, of course. Ryan Graves. Slater Cuckoo. Nate Schmidt. Interesting. Toronto, San Jose, Edmonton. I'm not huge on Nate Schmidt, but he does have a good floor. You have John Marino, who's doing decent. So I don't hate the idea of and Simek. Simek's been good, but good in a real life setting. I like Schmidt. Okay, so Schmidt is my favorite defenseman aside from maybe man, DeHaan's been on fire. So many peripherals that he gets you a good floor. Ooh, DeHaan might be really interesting, actually. Because that would be a great thing, just to add floor. Like, if I could get a point every single night out of him, and I can play him all 3 games that he plays. Chicago plays 3, I think. Yeah, so they play 3 games. If I could get a point out of each one, that's 3 extra points. That's a big deal. And let's take a look at forwards here, because I can also do a forward situation. So just looking back here really quick at what I can do. So today, obviously, I can't. It's a next day add situation. I can add right now on the show, but it's a next day add situation. So I have a defenseman spot here for Tuesday. And then I don't really need off nights for defensemen. I can kind of do whatever I want for defensemen. The only day I can't do defensemen, I think, is Saturday. No, even Saturday I have slots. So really, I should just go max through the week and who has the best schedule on defense. If only Ronick were healthy. So I could go Chicago and then pick up a defenseman on Sunday. And I still get effectively the same max starts. I do like Ronick the best, but I don't know if Ronick's healthy. I could just add Ronick straight to IR Plus, actually, and have that be in... Let's do that. Let's add... Okay, so here's what we'll do. We'll add Ronick to IR Plus. So we've got Ronick there for if he comes back. And then let's add... And then let's add, well, I kind of want to wait on DeHaan and see if Ronick is healthy, because Ronick plays... Okay, so Ronick would get me the most games here and get me that Sunday off night, which doesn't matter too much for defensemen. Let's take a look really quick at forwards here and see what I have for options on forward. I think I would need to reset lines because my projection went down. Okay, so no room Tuesday, so we're just going to do this here. We're going to mark off the days that I don't have for forward. So I don't have room Tuesday. Obviously have room Wednesday. I do not have room Thursday. Do I have room Friday? Yes, I do, obviously. Do not have room Saturday, so just the normal off night schedule here for forwards. Okay, so best score of Wednesday, Friday, Sunday will be Rangers, Ottawa, obviously. And then, of course, you've got this Devils Pittsburgh game. Okay, so let's look at the Rangers and Ottawa just as we did in the past. So let's look at the Rangers and Ottawa. Okay, who's out there for New York as a forward? So Buchnevich is there, which is... Ooh, I really like Buchnevich. Kreider's been doing a lot better, actually. And they play Washington, Ottawa, Montreal. I only need him for the Washington, Ottawa game. Man, that's a tough one. Do I go Buchnevich or let's look at the last 14 days and see what's up. Capo Caco. That could be a good one too. Looks like he's healthy. He's not day-to-day anymore, which is good. Maybe I go Caco. Take the upside. Take the upside gamble and hope that he does something against Washington or Ottawa. I think so. I think that's what I do. I like Buchnevich a lot, but... Okay, so let's mark Caco here. Let's take a look at Ottawa and see if anyone left good players out there for me. Tyler Ennis, nah. Namestnikov, nah. There's not much out here. I mean, Duclair against Detroit. I do like that in this league, at least. The problem with this league is just that I used one ad already on Ronick, and now I need to figure out. I don't want to use too many of my ads, so I'll use 2 ads here. But I don't know if I want to do 2 forwards and then hope that Ronick comes back, or do 1 forward and then one Dehan to get the floor. Mesnikov, Chaplik, Duclair. Logan Brown. Oh, this one's tough. Let me see if Rust is still out there too, just because I'm going to want him later. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to pick him up. Brian Rust is not available. Okay, that makes my life a little easier at least. Go to Chicago really quick. I mean, Chicago... Dehan is the smartest option in general, simply because... he's going to get me... Like, he maximizes my starts by a ton, just in case he's not healthy. Let me look up Ronick really quick. There's just been no... It says there's a chance that Ronick plays Tuesday. He's questionable against the Senators. Huh. Okay. Okay, so let's do this. I think I know what I'm going to do. So let's go Olofsson. Drop Olofsson. Drayden Schwartz first. Man, they've both been so good. That's okay. So let's add Dehan here. Start active players again and just see how that changes the projection after. And then let's go Capo Caco. Oscar Lindblom's been on fire, huh? Jeez. It's insane. I don't need him. Okay, let's go Caco. And take that upside. So he doesn't play the 19th. I can wait. I could wait to pick up Caco, or I could just do it now. Let's just do it now. Okay. So let's grab Caco. Cool. And now let's max out these starts. Now let's see what this does for me. Did I seriously barely go up? That is disappointing, but I did gain 2 starts so far, I guess. That's interesting. So tomorrow I max out my starts there, and then I was actually really surprised that my points didn't go up very much. That's okay. I feel good about where I'm at. Yahoo thinks I'm doing too much. Anyways, so my projections here. I'm gonna let Yahoo not think I'm a robot for a second here. So that's where I'm at with this league. I feel good about where I'm at. I think we've done some good ads here, put us in a really good position to succeed. Now let's move over to Hockrus and try to max that out. Okay, so compared to the other ones, Hockrus is pretty easy to talk about. Last week we won 8-2. I lost the goaltending stats at the very, very end because Fleury got a shutout, 34 save shutout, my bad, which screwed my goaltending stats, but whatever. I shouldn't have won with the goaltending stats I had anyways, so I'll take it. It's fine to lose like that. My team did really, really well. Oscar Klefbom was actually my MVP of the week, which was pretty insane. 4 assists with all these peripherals. Malkin doing really well for me. Dougie Hamilton with those 4 points. John Carlson still getting crazy points. Timo Meyer with 4 points. Jeff Skinner with 3 points. So everyone doing really, really well. I love how my team is composed. Kyle Palmieri is probably the one that stands out to me right now as just somebody that like I consistently continue to bench and everything. So this week I play against the 10th place team. I match up pretty well against them in most categories. So the thing is that this week I play the 10th place team. Next week I play the 12th place team. And when it's situations like this, I don't like, and it's close in starts. It's 48 to 51. It's not terribly off. And in weeks like this, I'm not huge on maxing out just for the sake of maxing out against teams like this, because I still should be competitive, even though I only have 3 games less than them. So I don't want to rush to make ads and max out simply because I want to win when I should be winning this matchup anyways, if that makes sense. Like I would rather keep my team's composition pure and good at the moment, and then hope to get through these next 2 weeks, but keep the best players possible than have to just max out. But, right now, if I had to choose, I think Palmieri is on the chopping block, Jaden Schwartz is on the chopping block, and so is Victor Olofsson. Those are my 3 that I think about. I think in the order that I'd specifically think about them would be Victor Olofsson, then Jaden Schwartz, then Kyle Palmieri, only because I really like Kyle Palmieri's, goal upside, and I need goal upside, as does Victor Olofsson, but, he hasn't really done much in a while. So this is, I just want to pay attention to him. And Jaden Schwartz's deployment has actually been fantastic. As you know, I've called him a long-term for a while now, and I do want to hold on to him, especially while he's getting this deployment. So I don't know. I think Victor Olofsson is probably the most droppable for me, as someone that won't get picked up. So we'll see what happens. I think what I'll do is I'll pay attention through Tuesday. And if Tuesday night I don't like where I'm sitting, then I'll make ads. If on Tuesday night I feel good about where I'm sitting, then I probably will just kind of stay put and see what happens and stream for that Friday, Sunday. But I really would like to keep a lot of this team together for now, and save these streamer spots for later. So we'll see exactly how it goes. But there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed me talking about stuff a little bit more in detail. Let me know what you think if you didn't enjoy that and want me to kind of brush over that and do my ads before and just talk about them. But I know that some people sometimes find it useful to know exactly what goes into each ad. So there you go. I'll catch you for the next Building Winners. Thanks for watching this one.